You see, drawing a realistic eye is one key element that makes your face drawing look realistic. And if your eye drawing sucks, the entire portrait wouldn't look as attractive. So in this video, I'm going to go through step by step the mistakes, the do's and don'ts to creating an eye drawing that looks super real. Coming up. The first mistake that many beginners make is that they start by drawing a really dark outline. When you are laying the basic proportions for your drawing, you don't want to draw very dark lines. When the lines for your drawings are not visible, they become more realistic. So try to make your lines less noticeable. In this don't section, I'm using my 5B pencil to lay the outlines, and this is very wrong. Instead, you want to use an HB pencil or a 2B pencil at most. The iris of the eye is not a complete circle. The upper eyelid should cover some of the iris, but on this don't section, I'm drawing a full circle for the iris, and this also is very wrong. The iris should be like a semicircle if you want your eyes to look a bit relaxed. Another mistake is the crease of the eye. I simply drew one dark line, and that's not how it actually is in real life. The crease of your eyelid is not just one line. And to be honest, the main reason why I am making this mistake is because I am not copying from a reference photo. I'm simply drawing this from memory. And this is one main beginner mistake that many people make. They just draw from memory. They try to imagine how many times they've seen eyes and draw from what they remember about drawing eyes. And that is very wrong. Instead, you want to look at a reference photo. The center of the iris, the dark section of the eye in the middle, should have a reflection. In fact, the whole eye should have a reflection. And in this drawing, it doesn't have a reflection. And it is almost impossible to see an eye that doesn't have a reflection. Every eye has some kind of reflection, big or small. Many beginners don't put this reflection. They don't put the highlight. They don't put the shine in the eyes. And it could be because maybe they are afraid to create this highlight. But it is very, very important to add that highlight to your drawings to make it more realistic. And out of all the mistakes that I've made so far, I would say that the eyelashes are the worst. The direction of the strokes of the eyelashes is just very wrong. You don't see this kind of eyelashes in real life. And to be honest, it's actually kind of spooky. And damn, you shouldn't draw an eyebrow like that. And this is what many beginners do. They simply draw a big dark block without any kind of lines or flow to the eyebrows, and this will make it very unrealistic. I said that the eyelashes were the worst, but I actually take that back. The way I'm drawing and shading is actually much worse. I am blending with my finger, and I'm also shading very erratically. And something I learned very early on was that you shouldn't use your finger to blend. Your finger is like the worst blending tool you can use. Another mistake here is that I'm using just one pencil for this drawing. I only used a 5B pencil, a very dark pencil. Now that's for the don't section. Now for the do's. Right off the bat, I am doing something right. I am copying from a reference photo. You see, only geniuses are able to draw without looking at something, and I certainly am not a genius. I'll drop the link to the photo in this description if you are looking to copy from this same reference photo. You will also notice that the lines I used to create the base layer are relatively light. I am using my HB pencil to create the lines and the strokes, and this makes it very light. The iris is also not a full circle. The iris is actually cut off by the eyelid so that it is almost like a semicircle. And even though I am shading the center of the iris very dark with my charcoal pencil, I am leaving a section for the highlight. That round section at the top, that will be the highlight. And this highlight, this shine, will make a big difference in the drawing. And rather than shade the iris randomly with strokes that don't actually go anywhere, I am trying to be intentional and purposeful with the way I create the strokes in the iris. I'm trying to make the strokes look like bicycle spokes. They will be like lines that come out from the center of the iris to the outer body of the iris. And I'm not going in once and finishing off like that. I am layering, continuously layering with my pencil. Then I blend. Then I also layer again. I first went in with my 2B pencil and created those strokes. Then I also layered with my 4B pencil. I blended. Then I top that with my charcoal pencil. I continue blending, and I also continue adding more layers with my charcoal pencil. And to be honest, if I were to give one main tip that will improve your drawing, that will take your drawing from looking zero to hero, it will be layering your drawings. You should layer your drawings almost every time when you are drawing, and it is something I actually wish I learned earlier. And after all of that, I am using my kneaded eraser to pull out some of the highlights in the iris. I am copying exactly what is in my reference photo, and I'm using my kneaded eraser to pull out some of that highlight. And already you can see that it looks so realistic because of I added that shine. The simple shine can actually make your drawings much better. And hey, if you like what you are seeing so far, consider hitting the subscribe button, because on this channel we give a lot of drawing tips as well as full drawing tutorials too. Another mistake I made in the don't section was that I made the white of the eye actually white. But the white of the eye isn't literally white. You must add some kind of shading to the whites of the eye. And I used my 4B pencil to shade, not even my 2B pencil, I used my 4B pencil to shade the white of the eye. Then I blended that with my brush dipped in graphite powder. I like to blend with my brush and my powder because it smoothens out the shading really well. And as you can see, the crease for the eyelid is not just one thick line. It is like a dynamic line that divides into two branches at the end. And rather than shade randomly with no purpose in mind, I am gently layering intentionally and blending my tones so that they are smooth, so that they are detailed. Then I'm also using my kneaded eraser to pick out some of those highlights, especially the area around the eyelid. I have a full tutorial on how you can draw realistic looking eyebrows, so click the card above or check the description to watch a full video on how you can draw realistic looking eyebrows. But rather than go dark in one thick block at once, try creating lines that go in the direction of the eyebrow in your reference photo. I started by creating lines that go in that direction with my 2B pencil. I blended with my charcoal powder, then I added more thicker lines with my charcoal pencil. But the most important rule here when you are drawing eyebrows is to go in the direction that your reference photo tells you. Look carefully in the direction the head drawing in your reference photo go, and go in that direction. The eyelash is another topic, and I have a video on that also. Click the card above or check the description for that. But to create realistic looking eyebrows, you must create lines that go in these 4 directions. If I drew the stroke straight up like this, like I did in the don't section, it would look like it came straight out of a horror movie. So make sure to create your lines in that direction and curve your strokes. Straight looking eyelashes are the worst looking eyelashes. The don't eye took 15 minutes, but the do's took wow, the do's section took about 3 hours. So it takes time to create realistic drawings. If you rush through it, you create something that looks a little like this. So don't rush through your drawings, take time. Do this. Click the playlist on the screen now. It will help you learn how you can draw eyebrows and eyelashes and make your eye drawing look a lot more realistic. Watch that and I'll see you there.